Hi guys, this video is about setting up a Sil3512 PCI SATA controller to work in a Macintosh computer. In this instance, I'm using a G3 400 megahertz blue and white. You can see here, there's the card right there. Okay, and I have a 1.5 terabyte and I think this is a 500 gigabyte SATA drive. And I'll show you how I do it. It's pretty straightforward. So we'll power on here. You'll notice right off the bat, this is already set up. And it takes a second for the SATA card to function. And what I mean by that is you'll get for a few seconds, you'll get a missing hard drive folder. But once the card firmware, the flash BIOS kicks on, there's no problem here. Yeah, the first time I saw this, I was like, oh shit, it didn't work. I broke my card, but I did not. So rest assured, you'll be absolutely fine. The process is extremely straightforward, and these cards are cheap. This card I picked up off eBay for $10 shipped. Now, for those of you who are familiar with the pricing of error correct Sonnet SATA PCI SATA cards, they are fantastic and amazing cards, but they are outrageously expensive. Yeah, you can see how laggy my GPU is. I'm still using that stinker Rage 128 card. Haven't been able to upgrade yet, and it is definitely a stinker. And you saw how laggy that desktop was popping up. Anyhow, here we are. You can see I've got 116 gigabyte partitions. That's off my boot drive. And then there's that 1.4 terabyte CD drive. So it's definitely working. It's rocking and rolling. Let's go ahead and bring up System Profiler. You can see the card. We can bring up Disk Utility. Bam, there it is. 2-channel SATA, and it is functioning. And you can see here's the drives. Awesome. Now let's get to it. The process is very simple, so you guys don't be scared to do this. It is extremely easy. So I downloaded this off of the Wayback Machine. I will post the address later. But what you want to download are the Weevatech SATA 3512 flashing tool. That'll come to you as a zip, and you open up that zip file and you will get this bad boy. Okay, now you see this flash tool here. Do not use that. That is incorrect. You want to go to the flash ROM command. Okay, that is the tool that you want to use here. There is very limited how-to documentation included with the package, so I'm just going to walk you through it. You click on this bad boy and a terminal tool pops up. And it is that simple, guys. You just make sure before you start this process that you have your SATA card installed into the computer, minus any drives. There's no need to stick the drives on there at this time. And anyhow, you see here at the bottom it says press C to continue. You just hit C on your keyboard. Then the tool pops up. And there you go. You know, it gives you, it'll find the card. The card here, it says found in system. It says Weevatech SATA 3512. That is because I already flashed the card. If this is before flashing, the native card will show up. And then when you go to flash, once you flash the card, restart the system, pop up. If you were to go back and utilize this tool again, you will see that it states it has been properly flashed, and you will know that it's properly flashed because it will say the eSATA SATA 3512-J11. Okay. Anyhow, moving forward, once you get to this point with your unflashed card, type in A, and you will flash firmware to the card, and it will finish. It takes literally 10 seconds. You reboot the computer, turn the computer on, and it should be working perfectly. At that point, you can plug in any SATA drive, solid state drive or otherwise, and or a spinner, and you are ready to rumble, guys. And you will have large drive support with some nice SATA action. Yeah, I said that. That was freaking dorky as shit. Okay, here we go. Anyhow, you have a good one. Oh, one other thing. Notice here in B it says write BIOS to the card. I did not experience this, but I did read on online that some folks needed to write the BIOS to the card before flashing it with a new firmware in order for it to get to work. That was not an issue for me. I just went straight to flashing the firmware, and bada bing, bada boom, it worked. Okay. The final point I wanted to speak to is one thing I've noticed is that this card the drives on this card do not show up if you are to go into a drive boot selection. You know, if you're to hit option when you boot the Mac, you don't see drives on this card, which is kind of unfortunate. So that is the single downside to this that I've noticed. Anyhow, it hasn't really been an issue to me because I have, if any of these drives were to get janky, I do have an IDE drive with a functioning Tiger install that I can operate to repair the drives off of. Anyhow, this is the process. You have a good one. I hope it works well for you. I will link down the card as well that I used, as well as the the Weavatech software package as well. Okay, appreciate you guys. Thanks, bye.